You mentioned something just now, Dwayne. Last year, some Swedish gang members used Spotify to launder money by buying extra streams from artists and gang affiliations, and then they cashed them out later. How they done that? I'm not privy to how they done that. It seems an extremely complex process. What do you think this impact is and associated to high-risk business?
What I think this is a really cool story. I'm going to call it an urban legend, if you will. I've done the research into this when it came out last year. I mean, Spotify denies it's possible, but of course they're going to say that. But what the underlying principle is, Dwayne releases a song. The song sucks, but that's not the point. The gangsters are going to then feed that song a whole bunch of criminal money that I'm going to get then paid for, and then I'm going to pay it back to the gangsters. Right? That's the theory behind it. All these money's going to come in from all these unknown sources through my crappy song on Spotify, and then I'm going to get a monetary reward from Spotify, and then I'm going to give it back to the gangsters. Now, if that, I can't find any proof. It's a good urban legend. It sounds great. I mean, the effort that would go in to laundering through that method is ridiculous. I can open a shell company, find a shell company in the UAE somewhere that's on board with me, and we can launder through trade-based money laundering $1 million a day. So I can't imagine the effort. I mean, it's cool, sounds neat. I don't think the effort makes it a viable money laundering opportunity, and it's definitely not something that I would concern my investigators with to task with the time. They've got enough trade-based, they've got enough just straight cash deposits, they've got all the traditional stuff that's still happening. Some of the more nuanced like this, good on them for figuring that out.
But do you think that is a gateway into something else? Do you think that, we might have heard this story and both gone, really? How? What? How? And then do you think that actually, back to our question before about the influencers and about how they're generating cash, do you think this could be a gateway into it? I think is the point. Suddenly it becomes more sophisticated.
I think potentially it could, if I can chime in here. Just on its face, if we're to be believed, like obviously Swedish gang members are using money right off the bat. That money is proceeds of crime. I mean, whether they're selling drugs, trafficking people, or whatever. And that, to Dwayne's point, this is a very complex way of laundering money. Logistically, it's a nightmare. But utilizing musicians that have gang affiliations. I mean, Brian, to your point, they're starting to influence customers and they're moving money around the same way. I mean, conceivably, you could hatch something like this on YouTube if you were so inclined. And, I know Dwayne's experience, it's the same. We've seen people that launder money start to shy away from mainstream banks as they start to kind of target harden their banks to money laundering. So they go to perhaps credit unions or other money service businesses. They're always looking for a different avenue, and they're quite agile. They will look at non-traditional ways of laundering money to see if it does work. So and that's our problem in the anti-money laundering space. They're constantly probing defenses to see where they can get rid of money.